I was out at the pond one day and I noticed some strange movement on the surface of the water. It was hard to tell what it was because it hadn't rained in a few days and the pond was coated with hemlock pollen. But when it moved into the daylight, I could see it was a giant bullhead, easily 18 inches in length. And then another bullhead, just a little bit smaller but still good size, following it. It was swimming oddly with its mouth skimming the surface of the water. I wasn't quite sure what was going on until they moved into the shallows, and then I could only assume that they were spawning. But then, it moved back into deeper water and continued to swim oddly. So I started to have second thoughts about the spawning theory. I do know that bullheads and other fish will sometimes exhibit this behavior in bodies of water with low oxygen levels. It will actually gulp air from the surface in order to help them breathe. A closer look reveals a large gash on top in front of its dorsal fin, probably a run-in with one of our local herons. It's highly unlikely that this behavior is due to low oxygen levels. The pond is fed by a creek as well as multiple springs, resulting in a flow-through rate of hundreds of gallons an hour. Another reason was becoming more apparent as I observed the cloudy look of the bullhead's eyes. This old timer was obviously blind from cataracts. Due to its loss of sight, it's more than likely it has adopted this behavior as a feeding technique in order to survive, skimming the surface for fallen bugs and other edibles. It wouldn't be the first old fish in the pond to adapt its feeding techniques after becoming blind from cataracts. Years ago, we had an ancient black bass that was 10 years old that we called Old One-Eye because he lost the sight in one eye. Eventually, he lost the sight in the other eye. His feeding technique was to position himself in the shallows with his nose right up at the shoreline. He would wait until something slithered or crawled by, and he would strike at the vibrations.